Hi, everybody. I'm Jeffrey Driscoll.
And I'm Jim Kerr.
And welcome to 15 Minutes of Fame. Well, Jim, we're going to kick off the week with a look back at the Super Bowl between is that your San Francisco 49ers and what is going to become now my Baltimore Ravens because they won. So, what did you think about the game? I blacked out for like 34 minutes of the game. So I don't
Usually
know.
when I black out, it lasts all night and into the next day. So that's good.
Yeah,
you got to tell me your secret.
34 minutes was okay. That's right. The game halfway through, or not halfway through, into the third quarter, and half the lights just literally went out. Apparently,
the lights went out.
Exactly, right? They just didn't pay their bills, or Beyonce literally danced the lights away.
That is, I never thought of that. That's probably what it was.
That's probably what it was.
I'm going to say, not a bad halftime show.
I didn't mind it either. I thought
Destiny's
it was okay.
Child came out.
I was like, okay, totally.
Game changer.
Total game changer.
As for the game itself, just like against Atlanta the week, or I guess 2 weeks before the game before, San Francisco came out a little flat and got down early. And, to go into the half down a few possessions, okay, maybe it's still within shot. First play of the second half, Jacoby Jones, 108-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Amazing stuff. That makes it, 28-3?
Yeah.
Something ridiculous like that.
28-6.
Right. So they're far behind at this point, and you're thinking, I know this team's bounced back before. I know they have it in them. It's the biggest stage. That no one's about to give up by any stretch of the imagination. But for them to come back like they did and make it as close a game as they made it is pretty impressive. Unfortunately, they couldn't get that last score that they needed to get out in front. They had the opportunities, but they just weren't able to capitalize that many times in one half, because they were able to capitalize in that half. Just came up short when it mattered, I guess.
I think you're absolutely right. Imagine if the 49ers could play 4 quarters. Like, really.
Oh.
That would be absolutely amazing. And just, you can't get down like that. You can't especially a top-quality team like the Ravens, with the defense that they have, you can't put them up 28-6 and just like, oh, yeah, we'll just come back. They almost did it, but still.
Yeah. There were a couple of bad drops by receivers that would have been major shifts in momentum for the 49ers, but that 30-minute power outage was a bit of an interesting thing to have happen in this game, because it was all Baltimore.
Yeah.
Power outage, all San Fran for a bit. They obviously, Baltimore held their own and managed to pull out the win, but and it's great to see Ray Lewis go out a champion. That's one of those stories that you love to see whenever it comes up. I'm not crushed that Baltimore won, so it's not like it's a Calgary Flame or a Vancouver Canuck winning you'd still be like, yeah, that's nice, but I don't want to see it.
No, totally.
I'm happy for Ray Lewis. I'm happy for the Baltimore Ravens, but would have been something if a quarterback making his 10th career start could have led a team to a Super Bowl.
Absolutely. And he did play well. Boy, I love watching him run. Absolutely amazing. It's absolutely great. So, yeah. That's a Super Bowl for you. Let's move on a little bit. Let's talk about some hockey. You and I, boy, we've been so wrapped up in a shortened NHL season that we even forgot to record a couple of episodes. So,
yeah.
Of 15
These
minutes
things happen.
Fame. Just, no time right now. So, we've been so involved in it. What do you think so far?
It's been great. A couple of teams roaring out of the gate, the Sharks and the Hawks, to be exact. Unbelievable. In the East, it's the Bruins and Lightning.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting. San Jose and Chicago haven't lost in regulation yet, with almost 10 games played. Boston comes into this week at 6-1-1. How can you not smile, though, with Calgary in dead last?
Boy,
I know it's only been, I think they've only played 6 games, maybe. Doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't matter.
Like The Rock says, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
How many games you played if you're in last place.
Yeah, and I absolutely love it. Considering
it's
The
beautiful.
Rock was cut
it's
by
nice.
Calgary.
Yeah, it might not last long.
Yeah.
But, gotta enjoy these things while they're in front of you.
Absolutely. Okay, well, what do you think about the Oilers then? They're going into this week at 4-3-1.
Yeah, well, I'd say I've been happy with how they've played for the most part. I've gotten to go see a couple games in person so far this season, and the speed of these guys, especially up front, the creativity of the forwards. They're always trying little things, and they're willing to keep trying and keep trying these moves that when they pull them off, they're unbelievable. A guy like Nail Yakupov off to a great start. We've seen a lot of him. Those between the knee slide and the
come celebrate.
His great goal. Come hug.
That
was the meme that someone made about it. Beautiful stuff. But he's off to a fantastic start. He doesn't look out of place at all. They're allowing him to make mistakes and still get out there the next shift. There's been some of the games that I've watched a little closer being in person. There's errant passes here and there by Yakupov, but they're giving him opportunities, and it's about him getting out there and getting comfortable at that level. And I think if the first handful of games is anything to go by, it's going to be a fantastic season for Yakupov. I also like what we're seeing from a guy like Alex Shemsky on a Yakupov goal on Saturday. He takes a big hit right at the top of the crease to make a play to Yakupov. He's looked really good. Guys like Eberle Hall, Nugent Hopkins have all had great starts. Justin Schultz, how good does that kid look? Looks so comfortable on the puck. He looks, there's no situation where he seems to panic. He just, he could have a goalie pulled behind him last minute of the game. Puck trickles over his stick.
No big deal.
Cool as a cucumber. Cucumber. Why do they say that?
I don't know if cucumbers are cool or not. But I always think of them with like sunglasses.
If I was going to pick a vegetable, if that's what it is, that's cool, it wouldn't be a cucumber.
Well, that's for sure.
But Schultz has definitely. I mean, we've had a couple stages of hype with the guy.
Yeah.
There's this guy who might sign. He's so good. We got him. Okay, this guy's going to be amazing. Blah blah. Lockout. He's in the AHL. Off the charts. This guy's going to be insane. He's so good in the A. Like, how's it going to translate to the NHL? Oh, maybe he comes out of the gate playing exactly what we expected to see, and he looks great.
Yeah, absolutely. How much fun is it to watch him pick up the puck in their end, kind of along the boards, traverse the blue line, and then take that wrist shot that he's becoming so famous for? Boy, that's fun to watch. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to keep watching the Oilers. It's a lot of fun to watch. There was another interesting note for the NHL this week, and it involved the Phoenix Coyotes. Jim, who owns the Phoenix Coyotes right now?
Well, it would appear that the NHL still owns
look at
the team.
that. How about that?
Amazing. Wow, amazing. Potential owner Greg Jameson wasn't able to get the money together to buy the team, though he still says he's interested.
Sure.
Now, there was rumors about that months ago that he was having trouble with his investors and having trouble getting the capital together to actually buy the team. He went ahead and got the arena lease worked out with the city. That's usually the biggest stumbling block. But I guess in this case, if you don't have the money, that will always be the biggest stumbling block. Now he has to redo that arena deal. Because you can't just go with the same one.
No.
And I recall it being a touch controversial, as it tends to be. So do they run into the same thing again? And this next time they have to go through it? I assume so. There's always places like the Goldwater Institute that don't want the thing to happen. So they'll be there waiting, you know.
Absolutely. It's not going to be easy.
And maybe it's harder to get that sweetheart deal in place when so it's like, okay, so we're going to pay you all this money, and you can't even afford the team
in the first place.
Yeah, that would make me a little hesitant, and that's probably an ace in the Goldwater's pocket there. That maybe there's a financial question here that might put the city in in a bit of financial trouble down the line. But yeah, he'll have to completely redo that deal. It's a strange development. If you don't have the money, how does it even get this far?
I don't know how does it. Why isn't there a proper vetting situation where people are vetting him beforehand? Like, he can't just walk into a place and be like, "Yeah, I got the money. Don't worry about it." You know what I mean?
Just like I know a guy. He knows 2 guys.
Right.
They know 4 guys each. We got this.
Anyways.
So we'll see what happens. But for the NHL still be owning that team.
It's time for them to move. Move.
2009
it's
was
beyond time for them to move. This is getting embarrassing. And
in a couple months, it'll be, I don't know when exactly the deal closed for them to buy the team in 2009, but it's 2013. We're 2 months in.
Totally.
You know, that's a weird situation that shouldn't happen in pro sports.
Absolutely. One note that we didn't get to when we were talking about the NFL, Chicago Bears have hired Montreal Alouettes head coach Mark Trestman. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, totally. And he's obviously had a ton of success with the Montreal Alouettes. He's made, they're the toast of the CFL every season, it seems. A lot of that has to do with a fantastic elder statesman quarterback that they've got there. But Mark Trestman's done a great job with that club. He's joining a good team in Chicago. That was one of those firings that was kind of, I would say, a little controversial because they didn't tank this season.
No.
They finished respectable. They just outside of the playoff picture. So for Mark Trestman to come into an already pretty steady, solid organization like Chicago, he could have some success right away. And I mean, that any success that he has is, looks great for the CFL.
Absolutely.
Maybe some coaches that aren't getting looks, or there's not enough jobs to go around. Maybe they start to look at the CFL, or maybe this opens their eyes a little bit, and they start looking at the CFL as a possible option, and the quality of the league continues to grow. But it's always fun when you see a player or coach head down in the NFL, especially if you see them having a bit of success.
Love it. Absolutely. All right, folks, let's start the Gabbies off this week with a good to Vincent Lecavalier. The captain of the Tampa Bay Lightning recently played in his 1,000th career NHL game. The really impressive thing here is it's all with one team, and that team happens to be in Florida. It's fantastic. So good old Canadian boy, got the French accent, playing like the southernmost team in the NHL. I love it.
Yeah, it's always good to see that. You don't see it that often anymore, players sticking with the team for the bulk of their career or their entire career. So good on you, Vinny, and your team's having a good season so far. How about a good to David Beckham for continuing to raise the bar of good guyness to heights that most of us good guys like Jeff will never be able to reach.
Not like this.
He just signed with I'm not in that category, so I don't even care. He just signed with Paris Saint-Germain of the French Pro League and announced he'll be donating his entire salary to a children's charity in Paris.
Wow.
It's estimated to be pulling in $1 million per month of his 5-month deal.
Yeah, but
Jeff, what do you do with your money, charitable donation-wise?
Right. I actually give it to the charity of Jeff, and luckily it goes towards letting him eat, and so it works out really well. But, I mean, you make $1 million a month, so what do you do with your charitable donation?
Remember, you must not have got it in the mail. I donated $1 million in your name to the Human Fund.
Oh, the Human
last
Fund.
Christmas.
Oh, that's good. That was nice of you.
Does a lot of work with humans.
Humans, good. I like that. Well, and a good to the NFL for a new concussion test it's developing that could be a major breakthrough. A report from Wired.com says players could be shown a medical scan that spells out the end of his career. The test is a few years away, but that's not a bad way to do it, you want to be able to see it, right?
Yeah, I guess it's a way of sort of mapping the degenerative brain condition. It's a really big word. Like, it's a huge word. It's something encephalopathy, something like that.
I'm
I don't know.
Happy you didn't make me try to say that.
I had you see. That's another part of the work that we at the Human Fund do.
That's right. That's fantastic.
But it's if you could see a guy at maybe 25, 26, and you could say to him, hey, listen, here's what your stuff looks like right now. 10 more years, this is what it'll be like, and this is what you'll be like. That might scare some guys because, I think a lot of times with fighting and with a lot of contact sports, guys don't know when's the right time to hang them up. And if you've lived your life a competitive person doing, trying to beat other people, that's just been your thing for your whole life. It's hard to say, all right, well, I'm finished.
Yeah, I'm done.
Especially, if you're still playing well.
Totally.
And by the time you're not playing well anymore, who knows why that is.
Totally.
And
absolutely.
maybe. So it's interesting that, you could show a guy right now, you could say, if you have 2 more of these knee surgeries, this is what it's going to be like. now they can say, well, hey, listen, this right here, you're going to be like that guy.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, ooh.
This is your brain.
I have wanted to try real estate.
Yeah,
now that you
exactly.
mention it.
Now it's time to invest.
On the bad side of things, how about the rumored name of the new CFL team in Ottawa? Apparently, the Red Blacks.
Yeah.
Is something that could happen. How bad of a name is that? I think I'd rather be the Pelicans.
That's how bad that name is, Jim, that you would rather be the Pelicans.
Yeah.
The worst name in sports right now.
Yeah, oh yeah. Hands down.
Oh.
I'd rather be a Pelicans fan and have to wear it not for money. I'd rather pay somebody to give me something with a pelican on it.
Right.
And wear it proudly and really rep the Pelican name than be called
the Red Blacks.
The Red Blacks for money.
Yeah. Totally. I wonder what their logo is going to be. I hope it's just a square and half of it is red and half of it is black.
Yeah.
Right?
I hope it's just the words Red Blacks.
Totally. I don't know what
but
that's
that
all
like
about.
Really?
Yeah, come on now.
You can't think of anything better.
Yeah, an animal or a anything. It doesn't matter. You know, a object of some sort.
Yeah, well that's what they should call themselves. The Ottawa intimidating objects.
There you go. Well, hey, if they're intimidating, that's fantastic. Let's give a bad to the players linked to the latest PED scandal in sports. A clinic in Miami allegedly supplied drugs to guys like Melky Cabrera and Bartolo. Colon, is that his last name?
Colon.
Yeah, Colon.
That's the one you have trouble with, man.
Yeah, that's what I have trouble with. Along with other names like Alex Rodriguez and Nelson Cruz. Some reports suggest the New York Yankees might be trying to have his contract voided over the claims. I've heard even if the contract stays through, A-Rod's played his last game in pinstripes. He's never going to play for the Yankees ever again, especially with his injuries and that kind of thing. But he's still got 6 years left?
I believe it's 5 or 6 at 114 mil total.
Unbelievable.
Something crazy like that.
Absolutely crazy. Well, he should get on the PEDs. I hear that makes you healthier faster.
Yeah, that's what I've heard also. Yeah. Apparently what happened with this is the guy, like the clinic shut down and a disgruntled now ex-employee produced this list and gave it to someone. Who knows? But it kind of seems legit.
Yeah,
and no one's surprised.
No, not at all. Of course not.
Especially when a couple of the names are guys who did sit suspensions for PEDs, like Cabrera and Colon. So it'll be interesting to see what the Yankees do with A-Rod, if they are actually trying to void his contract, or I mean, I don't know if a buyout's something they would do, or is even a possibility, but that'd be very interesting because I'm sure someone would take a shot with him. But
I'm sure.
At the same time, there's a risk there, I guess.
And I'm sure the Yankees will want to try to avoid that for sure. $114 million bucks off the books. I mean, yeah, they've got a lot of money, but that would be nice to see.
Yeah. How about a bad to the there's a couple of power outages we have to talk about. This first one doesn't seem so bad after the Super Bowl.
Right.
It slowed down the Man United Fulham game this weekend. The game was delayed by about 9 minutes, during which time 15 fouls were simulated and no goals were scored. The NFL, though, beat that almost by 3. A 30-some minute lockout.
There you go.
Come on.
You're in the NHL world. I like it.
Lockout of lights.
Blackout.
The lights locked out for
That's right.
half an hour, though, in the middle of the Super Bowl. Well, just past the middle of the Super Bowl, as you pointed out earlier. Yeah. But that's crazy.
The jokes just fly, eh? Like, obviously FEMA was being called out for that. I saw a good one that I think it was Donald Trump's official account, and it was like it's the Superdome is being run the same way this country is. Like, oh my God, fantastic. Or obviously they didn't put enough money back into the Superdome after the flood. So
I thought what was going to happen was the lights would go out and a beam of light would shoot down from heaven and bring ascend Ray Lewis halfway up, and then be like, "Oh, it's not over yet. Oh, sorry, we were on Eastern time. My bad."
Yeah, exactly.
And everyone would be like, "What
the heck?
Is that Archangel?"
Totally.
Flag?
Yeah. Is flag no flag? Hat coming off?
Yeah. I'd like to challenge the spot of the Ascension.
Yeah, exactly. It'll cost you a timeout, though. The punchline this week, I love this one, is OHL ref Joe Monette.
Yeah. He's been suspended.
The rest of the season, this is crazy.
Yeah, I think I would like this guy, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think he's probably a good guy to hang out with. We're gonna laugh hopefully with him.
Yes.
Hopefully, if he happens to see this, he doesn't,
Joe, hook us up.
arm doesn't come up. He's been suspended for the rest of the season over a tweet he sent out after reffing a game in Sault Ste. Marie. It was a beauty that read, Sault Ste. Marie, 2 words, Slim Pickens, no teeth, Hicktown, all fatties. With the hashtags there.
Here's the thing. Like, see, we can say this because we're out west, but you can't be really fired for the truth.
Well, see, I've never been to Sault Ste. Marie.
I don't know.
But it's now not as high on my list as it was. It wasn't really on my list, to be honest with you. I don't really have a list, so it's not even that bad. But if I were to drop a list right now of places I'm going to go
Sault Ste. Marie.
It probably wouldn't make the list unless someone was like, "Hey, what about Sault Ste. Marie? I heard there's
not people
no
with
teeth,
no teeth
Hicktown, all fatties."
Yeah. I can't believe he's suspended for the whole year. Honestly, like, I understand. Like, yeah, suspend him for a little while. He's a ref. He should know better. He's got to be objective. But the rest of the year, come on.
You know what I think it is? It's probably one of these things where it's like the guy in charge of handing out the discipline saw that and was like, "Oh,
yeah, don't.
I have to suspend you for this.
There's nothing I can do. I have to."
But I think it's funny.
Exactly.
But officially, we don't accept this type of...
That's right.
But unofficially, LOL retweet.
LOL retweet. Exactly.
I don't know, but that's a shame. Poor guy. But hopefully he gets back on there and shows a little better judgment on his social media usage.
Totally. Well, folks, that's our 15 minutes of fame up for this week. Join us again next week when we get a whole new 15 minutes of fame. In the meantime, I'm #allfatty.
And I'm a disappointed Niners fan.
Have a good week, folks.